5 things you should know about ammo, and Jake's going to lead the way on this one.
If you're going for, it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're doing...
Well, let's start with what you brought here. So I will pull some ammo out, and you will tell me about it. Whoa.
That's rifle ammo.
Oh, this is the 7.62. I thought they were longer.
That's 7.62 by 51.
Okay, and when they say full metal jacket, that's because it is this big metal piece right here.
Correct.
Boom. See, it is completely metal.
So that's a 308.
No, 308, it's just a slab bit bigger.
So what they're talking about when they say 7.62 by 51, it is 7.62 millimeters at its fattest point down here on the projectile itself.
Okay.
By 51 millimeters high. When they say 308, that is 0.308 of an inch around at its fattest point, and this is also by 51.
Okay.
So you can fire this 7.62 by 51 out of a 308. If you just have a 7.62 by 51, you cannot fire the 308 out of it. It's kind of like the 44 Magnum to 44 Special. When you own a Magnum, you can shoot Magnum and Special ammo out of it. If you own a Special, you can only shoot Special ammo out of it. When we're talking full metal jacket to hollow point.
Mushroom head, not mushroom head.
Right. This is better for home defense because once it enters, it's going to shrapnel. That's going to go through.
What's the grain situation? So this is like 149 grain on this.
Yeah, so the hollow point's 230 grains and the full metal jacket's also 230 grains.
Is that the weight of the bullet?
That's the weight of the bullet itself, yeah.
Okay.
This is a 44 Special hollow point. It's 165 grain. And then you have a 44 Special, that's a cowboy round, and that guy is 210 grains. The cowboy shooters they're shooting at steel targets.
Okay.
At like close range, so it just mushrooms up.
And so this bullet it'll hit the same way as this one?
This one's traveling slower, it's a heavier round.
Okay.
That lighter one, that's a hollow point, it's traveling faster, but since it doesn't weigh as much, it doesn't have the same kinetic energy when it hits. And this is just going to expand once it hits something.
But this is just going to flatten itself.
That's just going to, exactly, just going to turn into a big old thumper.
5 things we should know about ammo. Grain, full metal jacket are the big things. Grain is the weight. Full metal jacket is whether it's full, whether it's hollow point. And then there's also this cowboy round, which I didn't even know about a cowboy round, but there it is.
And then when you talk about, say, the 45, the reason it's 0.45 is because it's 0.45 of an inch. Okay. And then you have like a 9 millimeter, which is 9 millimeters, and they're talking about the widest part. It all depends on what you're doing with it. If you're just shooting at targets, obviously the cheaper is better.
Yeah.
Because you're not wasting a bunch of money. If you're doing home defense, you want to spend a little bit more on the home defense round because you'll get a hollow point, and it's going to be better for, like I said, especially if you have kids or neighbors or any of that. And then when you go hunting, you want the more expensive round because there'll be less little, you can tell just by looking at these two, this is a real cheap round. You see all those little nicks and burrs all over the round there? This is a more expensive round. You don't have them. And then when you get to the hunting rounds, you really don't have them. You want certain grains depending on what you're hunting because you don't want to just blow a bunch of meat apart too. You get a big old thumper round out there and you hit something, you're going to tear up a whole lot of meat. You're going to pop a bunch of stuff inside.
So when they switch the grain on this, they're just using a different metal to make it heavier?
Yeah, exactly. So like that 308 there is 178 grains, where this 7.62 is 149. It's a bigger round just by a little, but it's also heavier. So you're gonna get better distance, you're gonna get better accuracy out of it.
And then, do you think I could fire one of these off if I just hit it with a hammer? And will it explode at high temperatures? If I throw this in a fire, will it blow up?
No, they'll start going off.
Like dangerous? Like it's gonna go through?
Well, if you start throwing these big ones out there,
Okay, so don't throw this into a fire?
No, don't throw a box of ammo into a fire.
Get away from that vehicle, champ! She's lit on fire!
That's not good.
That's a good myth we should bust.
That's not good. They'll go off.